technical difficulties, I have to introduce Jevon, Superman Miller, actor, stunt performer, boxing connoisseur, the lover of the sweet sport of the boxing love of the game. And he and us and we are always talking about boxing. We're always going into debates. And
Always.
this will be no exception. So I offered and I invited him to come to the show because we have different perspectives of how we think that things should be, will be, who will win, who won't win. Let's begin.
Yeah.
Bomb. So
Yeah.
listen, okay. First of
What's
all,
up?
man, how you doing, man? You doing all right?
Man, I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day outside. Feel good in the shade. They got that Louisiana sun out here. Uh, Before I get started, man, I just want to thank you for inviting me on the show.
Okay.
Uh, Brother, me and you've been talking about boxing since before you even had this show.
That's right.
And so, we always have had that love, that respect for the sport. And I watch the show, man, just like everybody else who's possibly tuning into this. I watched the show with anticipation of what you're gonna do next, what you're gonna say next, how you break down that sweet science, and how you are truly a reporter, man. You report the
Man, I
news.
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
But no further ado,
yeah.
let's get to the counterpunching because listen,
Talk to me.
you told me, what did you
Yeah.
think about Madrimov versus Terrence Crawford, first of all?
Man, I felt like when me and you talked, I told you I felt like Bud was a little hesitant. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? He was hesitant to really just engage all the way. And I felt the reason why was because Madrimov was bigger. He was so much bigger. That's why Bud didn't do so much switching in and out like he normally do. He likes to always switch in and out, show you something different, southpaw, and then go back to regular stance. He didn't do that. Did you notice? He stayed in one stance and he fought him pretty much mostly the whole fight in that one stance. He was, I think he was afraid to get caught with something big. I think he
Well,
was afraid to get knocked out.
I think actually the opposite. I think that
Okay,
Like Terrence Bud Crawford, what he does is like he figures people out. He will come
true.
into one stance and then, he surprised us with the Errol Spence. Errol Spence, he came in out as a southpaw. There was no switching. There was just ding ding. Hey, I'm a
Uh-huh.
southpaw. I've always been one. You know, type of attitude. And whereas this fight, he comes in and he just really fights off the back foot. And Madrimov, yeah, he's a bigger guy in a bigger weight class, but at the end of the day, I
Yeah,
think it was Madrimov that was playing it safe. He was more poised. If you look
yeah,
at a Madrimov fight, if you
right.
look at a fight of Madrimov, you'll
Okay.
see that Madrimov is pretty much wild swinging. He's kind of like a Gennady Golovkin. He throws the overhand well. You know what I
I
mean? He
see.
goes
I
to the
see that.
body. He likes to pressure you. He didn't do that with Bud because he knew, nah,
That's
I might get
stupid.
caught with something dumb.
That would be stupid.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you this though. I think Bud fought him also. That you made a good point about the Spence fight. He fought Spence the way that he fought Spence because he knows Spence. You know what I mean? You're gonna fight somebody that you know differently than you would someone that you don't know. Yeah, of course he did his research on Madrimov, but do he really know Madrimov? Did you really know Madrimov before this fight?
Nope, I did not.
Exactamundo. Exactamundo. You didn't know who he was. And I feel like Bud was the same way. He didn't really know who Madrimov was. He knew exactly who Spence was. He told Spence what he was going to do to him before he did it to him.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
You know what I mean? He broke it down to Spence when they had that little back and forth tit for tat, whatever it was that they had. He broke it down to him. He said, "Man, look here, you coming here with that old same old stupid style. I'm gonna beat you up."
Right,
And
right.
he beat him up.
So we got some comments right here.
Okay,
Bill Peaveny in the building, Skrilla 50 in the building with that wrench. Daniel Pines, counterpunch to you. Hope you're having a good day. Appreciate you, Daniel. Low
I
key
like it.
freestyle. Canelo versus Crawford. Who you got?
Ooh,
Um,
ooh, ooh.
who you got
Ooh.
out of Terrence Crawford versus Canelo?
Man, I don't know, man. Canelo just been disappointing me lately, bro. Canelo will not take the fights that he know he needs to take. And I know, I get it, man. You didn't solidified your legacy and all that, bro. But there's still some fights out there that you need to take so you can be set up there with the big dogs, man. So they can mention you up there with the Mike Tysons and the Alis and the like the just the greats of greats, like the Sugar Ray Leonards, man. Sugar Ray never ducked nobody, He fought the best of his time period. The Hearns, the Hagglers, he fought them, right? So
Yeah,
I
well, I
feel
mean,
like,
yeah, he fought him eventually. Yeah, sure.
yeah, eventually, yeah, of course. But they still went hand in hand though. And I feel like Canelo just, what people want to see. That's why we got Turkey Al Sheik.
Yeah.
Thank God
Yeah.
for that brother, man, because he know what the people want to see and he's giving them what they want to see. And that's why Turkey went at him like he did. He shot it at him. I mean, and I love it, man. It was a nice little counter punch to him. He hit him in the kidneys. You know what I mean?
And
He
yeah,
hit him, he gave him a kidney shot or a behind the head shot. You know what I mean? He caught him with a low blow because he needed to. Hopefully, it light a little fire on the Canelo to go ahead and take those fights that he know he needs to take. So, with that being said, I think Bud will beat him. I think Bud will beat him if they go head up.
well, a lot of people would say that you're not you're disappointed with Canelo lately, as far as his fighting or as far as how he decides to pick fights.
The how he deciding to pick fights. He's picking fights like a man who's afraid to lose his legacy, like a boxer who done lost a couple of fights and don't want to lose anymore.
Okay,
That's
so
that's what it feels like to me.
well, do you think Bud can take a Canelo shot?
Oh, that's a hard one, man. We don't really know what Bud Chin is like if he take a hard hit like that though. He didn't really take no hard hits in his last fight. He took some jabs to the face, but nothing just really staggering.
Well, I mean, Madrimov caught him with like 5 straight right hands.
Yeah, but
You
it
didn't see
wasn't
that
any.
fight?
But I don't think Madrimov caught him with like a power punch that would have knocked him out though. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Like one of them nice chin shots. You know what I'm talking about? One of them
Man, he
ones
caught him.
that
I know. Look. I'll say this: Bud is good. Bud has a decent chin.
he has a decent chin.
Everybody gives Bud shit because Bud got staggered by Gamboa at 135.
I remember that.
Yeah, people always go back to that, but they
Uh,
refuse to tell you the outcome of that fight. You know what I mean? Gamboa was
yeah.
stopped for the first time in his career. I mean, he was dropped before that, but he was stopped the first time in his career. Now people don't even remember who the hell he is. You
Well,
know?
yeah, you know what happened? He pissed Bud off.
Yeah, I mean that's what happens though. And do
Yeah.
you think Madrimov fought in a way that he didn't want to piss Bud off and get Bud like he got Bud?
You know what? Now that makes a lot of sense. He did fall, like you said, he was a conservative fight. He didn't really just go at him head up, like just really try to battle him. Well, what's a good battle that me and you could talk about? Like oh God, man, like a Mickey Ward Gotti. You know what I mean? Like he didn't want to engage like that.
Mm.
I wouldn't even wanted to see that anyway. If he would have tried to engage Bud like that, ugh, that would have been nasty.
Well, I mean, you can't expect people to fight how you want them to fight, and I think that's what
Of
people
course,
got
of course.
pissed off about Floyd fighting Manny, because Floyd knew, man, you can't fight Manny like that. You will get destroyed trying to go toe to toe with him with the type of footwork he has. And Floyd knew, let me stay on the outside and get him. But I think that
I wanted
Canelo
to rematch that.
Alvarez. You say what?
I wanted a rematch of that, by the way, because if Manny really was hurt, I would have liked to see him fight again.
I
If he
don't think
really
he was
was
hurt.
hurt.
I don't think he was hurt. No, he threw too many.
Mm,
He threw too many punches to be hurt. He threw too many
mm,
shots. You
mm,
know, if
mm.
listen, if that scorecards wouldn't have been the way they were, do you think he would have been talking about my shoulder? I don't think my shoulder was ready for the fight, and then I was not throwing too many punches because the shoulder was starting to hurt more, and it was hurting. No,
Eh,
bro, he
I
wouldn't have said that. He wouldn't have said that. And look, we're Manny Pacquiao fans to the
huge
core.
fans.
And the thing is, when I heard it, I was like, and I went back and I seen the amount of punches that he threw versus landed.
Yeah,
It's hard to convince me that you were hurt that bad in that fight. Now I know if you get hurt, you're supposed to put on the poker face. That's
yeah.
the psychology of it. You have to have that mental toughness. I get it. But
Mm-hmm.
don't tell me about my shoulder after that. Then you will
Oh
see.
man, man, stop it.
No,
Look,
no.
man, I believe Manny Pacquiao because Manny Pacquiao, you know what I mean? He a religious man like myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he believe in a higher power like myself, and I don't think Manny would just come out and say something like that just to try to hold his legacy. Man, you got a man who fight with a whole country on his back. I don't think he would do that just to hold on to his legacy and say, "Oh, my shoulder hurt," just because he want to keep his legacy intact. You
All
talking
right,
about the same
all right.
man? You talking about the same man that got laid on his face by Juan Marquez, man? I mean, knocked him out, cold, flat, booty in the air, dude. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, and why did he get knocked out like that? Because he came in and he took a chance. He was beating him up so bad. He came in, took a chance, and ran right into a diesel truck.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
So
I'll
anybody
say
who will lay
this.
out like that won't lie about his shoulder being hurt, Kurt. You know he won't, man. No way.
All
No.
right. I mean, good counterpunch. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the next topic.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Okay, this is what I was talking. We were talking yesterday. Before we get into that topic, let me appreciate the people that are here.
Yes, man.
We have ex-con in the building, Marlon Thornell in the building, low-key freestyle. Yes, Canelo not like Chavez, Sanchez, but nowadays boxers have been have more freedoms and business wise. Counterpunch to you.
Yeah.
Gambo is a beast too, so at least somebody remembers him. That's a
Yeah.
cool thing.
It was great.
Mayweather turned into a strictly business sport, has its cons and pros and cons. There you go.
Look at
And
Skrilla. Skrilla say Bud by UD.
there you go. Boxing
Uh-huh.
is corrupt lately. It's always been corrupt. Yeah.
That's why we hate it.
We love
That's
it so much.
that's why we
Yeah.
love it and hate it.
There you go, man. Yes, Madrimov threw much less punches than Crawford. All right. Crawford is a beast, and I'm from Ireland. Didn't know about him, but he is a beast. Okay.
Mm, okay.
Um, what about Tyson versus Tua? Okay, we'll get to that.
Woo-wee.
Marquez was fueled. Marquez was fueled. That means he was juicing. Yeah, I know
And
that.
somebody said the same thing. Yes.
Juan Manuel Marquez had Pacquiao's ass tooted up after he KO'd him. Hold on, big fella.
Hey man, that's cold, bro. I ain't go that bad. I ain't go that hard on him, man.
I mean, you might as well. You said ass in the air.
Well, it was in the air, dog. I remember it. I thought he was dead.
Bobby Collins in the building. Salute. You guys hit that like button. We got 50 people in here. Hit that like button and growing so
Oh,
we can
love
YouTube will start sending out the notifications like they supposed to. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
it. Yeah.
Now, like I was telling you guys, or continuing to talk about the debate between Jarrell Big Baby Miller and Andy Ruiz. And before I begin, people, this man is a Miller.
A Miller.
He's a Miller. So you know this is kin we're
Yeah.
talking to. This is Jarrell Miller's distant kin,
I
Jevon,
take care of Millers, bro.
Superman Miller.
Yeah.
Okay. So, just keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, who do you think won this fight? Because we know they fought to a draw. We know the injury. We knew, about all that shenanigans.
Man, where do I begin, bro? Okay. Did Big Baby win that fight? Okay, yeah. Why was it a draw? Because I called it a draw when I watched it.
Uh-huh.
I told the dude next to me, I said, this is finna be a draw. Why was it? You gotta, whether you like Andy Ruiz or not, Andy Ruiz was a former world heavyweight champion, man. I feel like Big Baby had more energy. He didn't use it, man. I don't feel like he opened up enough. And if you don't open up like you should, you're not gonna beat a former champion. And the reason why I think he didn't open up is because he liked Ruiz a lot. He liked him so much that he didn't want to hurt him.
Well,
I feel
I'm
like
about, I don't buy that shit. Let me counterpunch.
He said,
The reason why I don't buy that is because I know they have good kindred. I know they're friends.
yeah,
But I also know that Jarrell Miller hit Andy Ruiz with those straight rights. And I think it wasn't the fact that he didn't want to hurt him because he's friends. In fact, he couldn't get him because one thing about Andy Ruiz, he might got cement feet. He might be a fat guy that likes sneakers,
yeah,
and carne asada and all this good stuff. But at
yeah.
the same time, but at the end of the day, the man can fight.
He
He has
can.
a good upper
He can.
body movement. He has short
Yes,
legs and short arms
yes.
and his
Bad.
legs are solid. But guess what? His hands are fast and he has good
Yeah.
upper body
Uh,
movement.
uh,
So, Andy Ruiz was shorter. So Jarrell Miller 6'4". Andy Ruiz is about 5'10".
yeah. Yeah. But
So
I don't know, man. I feel like if Jarrell really wanted to hurt Andy in that fight, I watched that fight a couple of times. Even after when I got home, I watched it again. If Jarrell really wanted to hurt Andy, I think he could have hurt him more, man. He really could have. He said that he don't even want to fight Andy no more because he don't like fighting people he like. He thought about the
well,
man's kids. He said he thought about his children.
I'll tell you what though. I'll tell you what. Yeah, I wouldn't want to. Who's eager to fight Martin McCulley these days?
No one. And boy, I can't wait till we get to this topic right here, boy.
Okay. Well, guess what? That
Woo! I can't wait.
Well, see, here's the deal. Martin McCulley, yeah, we're all friends. I mean, dude, you got to fight him eventually, and I think that's the point. If I'm a boxer
Ooh.
and you're a boxer, and you're the best in your town, and I'm the best around my town, there would be no reason for us not to get it on and make some money together. Just what Adrian Broner told Floyd Mayweather. He was like, look, if we wanted to make some money, if you really wanted to make money and you wanted to help the next generation or the people that was in your circle, you would fight those people. You would fight the Sean Porters, the Keith Thurmans, the
Of course.
Adrian Broners. You would
Of
fight
course.
those guys. You would fight them.
Okay. What Mike Tyson used to say back in the day. He always visualized putting his hands through the head of the person that he fought. How easy is that to visualize when you like that person? If I say, I'm thinking to myself, like, Mike walked to the ring, pushing his fist to the front of his gloves, thinking to himself, I'm finna go push my hand through this man's head. If I'm looking at a ring and I care about your wife, your kids, your family, how can I think about putting my hand through your head?
Can I ask you a question?
That's hard, man. Go
Can
ahead.
I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
Where is Jarrell Miller from?
He from Brooklyn.
Where is Mike Tyson from?
Brownsville.
Okay, they're both from New York, right?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so do you think at any time those guys care about what happens to families when they're in that ring and that says ding ding? Do you think that really matters? Because once upon a time, Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis were friends. This is my friend Lennox Lewis. We're good friends. We
Yeah,
were
yeah,
good friends together. We used to spar and Casanova used
yeah.
to say, wait, Mike, you're gonna fight this guy. Right? So, okay, and so at the end of the day, I think, and then he wanted to kill him. He bit a plug out of his leg like it was a K9.
Yeah, but we talking about a different Mike Tyson at that time too, man. We talk about a Mike that done been through prison, that done fought like an animal in a jailhouse, that's let out and everybody's attacking him. Everybody was attacking him at that time. Reporters and the media, everybody just was attacking Mike, man. So of course Mike was an animal. But you know what? He became a tamed animal after Lennox whooped that ass. Cause guess what he did? He wiped some blood off Lennox's face. You remember that?
I don't know if it was blood. It probably was sweat though. Yeah, yeah.
They were standing there talking, and he saw a little trickle of blood right here on Lennox's face, and he took his glove and he lightly rubbed it off his face.
Yeah, I
He kept
remember that.
saying
Yeah, that was weird. That was iconic to say the
there was
least.
it was, man. That's Mike Tyson. That's the real Mike Tyson. But that's the real Mike though. Mike a sensitive dude, man. He just like to beat ass. He a sensitive guy that like to beat you up.
And you think Jarrell Miller don't like to beat you up?
Oh, Jarrell Miller definitely like to beat your ass up.
You didn't think Andy Ruiz wouldn't beat up in that fight? You think he was holding back on Andy
Oh,
Ruiz?
oh hell no. I mean, I think he was holding back, but I do think he beat Andy up a little bit. But he didn't. I I just felt like Kurt. This is just me talking. We debating, right?
Yeah.
I just felt like there was times in that fight that Jarrell could have opened up and really push Ruiz back more, corner him, and just really wail away on him. Of course, he ain't gonna knock him out because Ruiz a tough dude. But I felt like Miller could have just opened up a little more on him. Even the commentator said it. They were saying why is he not letting his hands go? They said that in the fight.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
did.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. I think I think Jarrell Miller did what he had to do. I don't think he held back. I don't think any of that shit. I don't think that at all. I think if anything, Jarrell Miller with his style, they were really battling for position. You know what I mean? You got a walrus versus a buffalo. Okay, so you got two guys trying to move each other back in order to have enough space to throw their own shots.
Yeah, big
Whereas
man.
Ruiz was more explosive, in that fight. I think he was more explosive. I think he threw the better shots, but I think Jarrell landed more. Y'all worked him. As Andy Ruiz, moving forward, maybe it was some of the ring rust, maybe it was that big ass ribeye
Oh,
bone that was sticking
oh,
out of his
oh,
right hand. It
oh,
was
that
crazy.
was disgusting, man. That remind me of that knot. That remind me of that knot that was on what you call it head. Remember
Rockmont, yeah.
on Rockmont head? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, grotesque. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
that was nasty. That was more that was on his head. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It looked like a cartoon anvil. You know?
a head.
Yeah.
Hey, I think Afro Jam bring up a good point. He says Tyson was friends with Lewis and Holyfield and sparred them as a youth. He said he was friends with both.
Yeah, and he fought them both too, didn't he?
He fight them both. Yeah, yeah, that's very true.
Okay, Marlon Thornell says, I'm a Crawford fan, but Nello breaks eye sockets of 168 pounders, and I don't think Crawford can take these punches.
Oh,
What do you say about that, sir?
oh, oh, here we go. Well, you know what? Canelo was hitting pretty damn hard still when he fought. When he fought my boy. Well, I ain't gonna say my boy because I don't really like Floyd Mayweather, but he was fighting Floyd back then. He was a strong youth back then too. But what Floyd did, Floyd just avoided him. He
Yeah.
just he didn't let him get him off. And Canelo so flat-footed, man. He was just. I mean, it was easy pickings for Floyd. It was really easy. I remember watching that fight thinking I was gonna see more out of Canelo because, I was like, I was a fan. I was a small fan of Canelo at that time. I was like, okay, this Mexican cat, he's serious. I wonder what Mayweather gonna do with him. And Mayweather made him look like an amateur, man.
So let me ask you this. Why do you think that Canelo won't take that money from Turkey Al-Sheikh? Well, what do you think in the Crawford fight? Do you think there's any
Uh,
fear?
I don't know. Is it uh, maybe a little bit of possible fear? I don't want to say fear because these men are warriors at the end of the day. At the end of the day, they get in the ring, they punch men, and they get punched by men. So it's hard to call them scary. You don't want to say that to a certain extent, but maybe when you see something that you can't beat, it could put a little fear in you. Or you see something that you scared that you can't beat, and also a little ego comes in it too, man. Like, hey, man, I got money. I don't care nothing about your money. I got money too. You know what I mean? And that's
Well,
where the ego come in at.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, even with David Benavidez, he didn't say he didn't want to meet with him. He just said, "Hey, I named my price and it's 150, $200 million." And you
Pricing
say,
yourself out.
"Okay, well, you said, well, hey, there may be a little fear in there, so it's still fear. If you're afraid to get hit or you're afraid to lose, you're still afraid of something, and your ego
Yeah.
could reflect the fact that, well, wait a minute, if I do lose, how will it hurt my ego? How will
Right.
it affect me?" So that like Canelo may be worried about that because I've heard Canelo say he doesn't like that style. Remember the Edis Landilada fight?
I remember that. Yeah, yeah. He doesn't
He
like
didn't
that
like
style
that
at
fight.
all.
No, he just Crawford it runs around and I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit.
Yeah, he forget that Crawford don't always run though. We know Crawford a banger too though. So
Well,
Crawford a bang with you too.
okay, because we're going to disagree on this because we have. What do you
Okay.
call running, sir? I don't believe in running.
You
I
don't believe
believe in lateral
run?
movement. Okay, let me
What?
tell you something.
Oh,
The difference between someone, what's the best form of defense?
What the best form of defense is to have a great offense.
No, the best defense is distance. Get
Oh
back.
man, stop.
You can't
Stop.
hit. Look, you can't hit what's not there. So
Oh,
when
come
you hit
on.
somebody back, and then you make a step, then back, then you make a step, and you're giving somebody, you're going side to side, you know,
Oh,
that's any boxing rule. That's any boxing rule. Let's see.
okay.
Maybe they could use the threat of Crawford looming could persuade him to fight Beterbiev. Mm.
Mm,
It's not fear of the opponent, it's fear of losing. Mm.
yeah.
Canelo will lose. Canelo is not competing at an elite level anymore. He is padding his wins and
Ooh,
singing his swan song off.
ooh,
Crawford is chasing greatness.
ooh. Hey man, that's nice. That's who said that? Ex-con? Hey man, that's nice. That's
People,
nice.
well,
Oh,
Excon says people thought Crawford and Spence was Drake and Kendrick. Damn. Crawford is a special fighter.
Ex-con
Oh,
sharp, bro. He's sharp on it.
yeah.
But back to running. Cause we gotta get we just need to talk about that for a
Okay.
second. Let's take
Okay.
this, right? There's a difference between running and having the speed to elude punches. Muhammad Ali proved that. Muhammad Ali never ran in the ring. He just eluded punches and counterpunched. He was able to elude your punches and jab. Man, I mean, he wasn't no runner. He didn't run. He didn't run from Sonny Liston. You know what I
I was
mean?
just thinking about Sonny Liston.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
He didn't run from
okay.
he didn't
He
run
didn't
Sonny.
run up from Sonny. Yes, he threw shots, but I mean, he knew how to
Yeah,
get the hell out of the way and get the hell out of Dodge at the same time
he
because
did. He had
Sonny
great.
Liston was coming. No, he
Right.
wasn't doing that. He was using those legs. He wouldn't. No, he wouldn't.
Well,
He was moving. He was using those legs. He moved those legs to get back. But then
on the back foot.
When Crawford, Jesus, when Liston comes in, he was coming in trying to
Uh,
throw those shots to the body because he was basically that current day George Foreman. And
yes,
since
he
he
was.
that's where George got it from. He
I would
trained with Sonny
say that.
Liston.
Look. I was finna say that. You took the words out of my mouth. And why you think Muhammad Ali was so confident that he could beat George? Because he
Okay.
already beat a George already.
Interesting point. I didn't really even think about that. The
Yeah,
generations of people and things you've already done and the
he
styles
already
you
knew it.
know you can conquer. Yeah.
Yeah, he was 32 at the time. He was more mature at the time. He already had beat Sonny Liston when he was young. It's like, look, dude, y'all basically coming out of the same camp. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna whoop you just like I whooped Sonny.
Skrilla 50 says Shakur Stevenson is faster than Noah Lyles. Okay, so who do you call a runner of the day?
Oh man, Mayweather was a runner to me, man. Mayweather ran for me, and the reason why I say Mayweather was a runner because whenever Mayweather actually was hit or was hurt,
Nah.
he got good. He got on the good foot, baby. He would he,
When
would- he
was
would
he
ride his
okay?
bike.
Who hurt him that he ran from?
Who hurt him? Who he ran from?
Yeah, who hurt him that
Oh
he ran
my
from?
God, man! Do we not remember the Shane Mosley fight?
I remember the Shane Mosley fight. He hit him he got him in the second round. Yep,
Uh
caught him
huh.
overhand. Jab to the body, overhand right. Yeah.
Boom. Right, right. So after
That he
that,
ran?
the engagement changed after that, right? He stopped engaging him a certain type of way. He started more on that back foot pedaling, and then he started to wear the old man out. He,
No,
he
no
tired
way.
the old man out. He tired him out.
Oh, now he was old, the 38-year-old
Yeah,
Shane Mosley that
you
just
you Shane.
destroyed
You,
Margachito.
you know Shane.
You mean to tell me that Floyd, when he got caught with that right hand, he changed his style and ran?
Let's well, next time you're in Shreveport, I want to sit down with you. Let's watch it again together. Let's watch it again together. Me and you.
Okay, this is what I recall. This is what I
Okay.
recall about that fight. He gets caught
Okay.
with an overhand right. He
Uh-huh.
grabs Mosley
Uh-huh.
with a kung fu grip. And
Uh-huh.
then Mosley finally snatched his way around, then went overhand, and then he
Uh-huh.
missed a couple times. And then later in the fight, he caught him again, and Floyd almost went down, and then he comes back up. He comes back up. And then after that, Floyd was ever since then, that right hand, he was sticking him.
Ever since then, right? You said I just heard your words. You said ever since
Ever
then.
since then.
So what that mean was Floyd changed the way he was fighting.
He adjusted, yes.
He had to. Because he knew if he didn't, Sugar was gonna knock him out. You said it. I didn't.
Well, I mean, if you see a punch and you know that punch it hurts you, you know instinctively I'm not going to get hit with that punch or allow myself to put myself in that position. But he didn't run around the ring and run from him like Conor McGregor did with Diaz.
But now you got on you tore up Tyson Fury for getting on his bike. You know when he fought that big the big African cat, right?
Who?
You the MMA fighter. You know what I'm talking about, the MMA dude. When Tyson Fury and the MMA dude fought the African
Francis
cat.
Ngannou, okay.
Ngannou, right? Yeah, you chewed Tyson up for that. You said, oh man, Tyson was running, man. He felt Ngannou power. He didn't want to get hit no more. And Tyson changed
using
up
legs.
style.
I mean, I
agree.
didn't shit on him. I knew he did what he had to do. He
I
could look.
agree with you though.
He circled. He came in with the 1-2. He got caught after he threw the right hand because he got countered with a left hook. But ever since then, he knew like I can't get hit with shots like that because I might get knocked out. And if I get knocked out in Saudi Arabia after I started this whole Turkey ala Sheik, this togetherness, this
Yeah,
whatever it is, because
a
that was the
bond,
first.
whatever they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you though. And you know I'm a Tyson Fury fan. You know I like Tyson. We've talked about this a lot. I like Tyson Fury, but I agree with you that he did start to run. He did. He got scared.
Okay. Okay. Tyson Fury, speaking of your boy, Cupcake people, fans, hit that like button.
Please.
My man Jevon Superman Miller, he is a Tyson Fury fan. I know you're a Tyson Fury fan. And this man told me after I am very hurt Tyson the Gypsy King Fury and defeated Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. He said, what? What did you tell me?
Oh, man.
No, I mean, hey, man, this is your opinion. You don't remember? Did you forget? Oh, you forgot. Okay, look, allow me to retort. This man said, "Oh man, I think that fight was a draw."
If you take that ninth round away, Tyson was winning that fight. He was winning that fight if you take that ninth round away. The ninth round is what changed the trajectory of that fight. So therefore, I didn't feel like it should have been a straight win for Usyk. I felt like it should have been a draw. I do. Because the ninth round is what really got Usyk back in the fight. Because, man, he was getting hit with uppercuts and hard shots pretty much up until that point.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So Tyson was winning, man. I believe Tyson was literally winning that fight.
Okay, so what we're gonna do? We're gonna pretend we're gonna take out a round and act like that, like round 9 didn't exist. Why would we do that? You got to look at rounds for rounds.
We can't do that.
Was big.
We can't do that.
We can.
We can't do that. We can't do
so
that. Round 9 happened.
Yeah, because you're saying, man, well, if it wasn't for round 9, man, it should have been a draw. So by default, you were saying, sir, that because you can't take away a round, it can't be a draw. Because you just said, hey, man, if you take away round 9, I call it a draw. Well, you can't take away round 9, and you can't take away the fact that this man was out on his feet, and we got caught with that left hand. He could not. He didn't even throw any more punches in that round. He didn't throw a punch since then.
He was doing the stanky leg. He was.
Man, he was doing the stank. He was almost dead.
He was dancing, baby. You know what? I just read a comment here. You know, Usyk is the Evander Holyfield of this time period, by the way. I'll give him that. He is the Holyfield of this time period. He's taking on all the big men. He's battling all the big men. He's beating all the big men. I have nothing against Usyk. I think he's a great fighter. I'm just a Tyson Fury fan. But I do agree that he is the Evander Holyfield of this time period.
So if he's the Evander Holyfield of this time period, who is Tyson Fury?
Lennox Lewis.
He's Lennox Lewis. Okay. All
He's
right.
Lennox, and you know why I call him Lennox Lewis? Because Lennox got hurt a lot.
He
You
did.
know, Lennox won a lot of fights, but he did get hurt, even in a lot of his wins, and definitely his two losses. You know what I mean? What he do? He come in playing around and get his ass knocked out, just like Tyson Fury did. You in that? He damn near got knocked out. At least damn near got knocked out. You playing around with a man that's not playing with you. This man come from a warring country. This man is not a joke. He's not in there to play. He's not smiling. He's in there trying to whoop your ass, man. So quit playing with him, and you better fight him like he's fighting you.
Skrilla 50 said Tyson Fury, Lennox Lewis.
Well, of this time period, of this time period, not
Okay.
Skrilla. He's not Lennox Lewis, but he's just the Lennox Lewis of this time. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, let me counterpunch ex-con. He said Usyk is not taking damage like Holyfield has. Usyk has a better defense. What? Listen, let me tell you something. First of all, have you seen Alexander Usyk after these fights? He looks like a beat up
That
raccoon.
nigga, that nigga like Ricky Raccoon.
Man, he takes punches. It's just, yes, he has good defense. But yes, he has a different style from Evander Holyfield, and because he has a different style, and because he was smaller, and
Mm-hmm.
the playing possum and all that stuff, yeah, that weighs a toll on you. But
Yeah,
don't get it twisted. Just because someone has good defense doesn't mean they don't get hit.
he
Hell,
takes
look at Lomachenko.
he takes punches to get in. Usyk is not afraid to get socked in the eye to get in and land his shot. He's willing to take damage to land his shot.
Well, I think he stays close enough to his opponent, and the defense that he has is good. But I think he's going to take some friendly fire doing so. Sure.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
uh,
absolutely.
that's what I'll say. But I also say this about Usyk. Usyk is a guy also that he takes shots and he takes punishment, just like a lot of fighters that you think that are some of the best defensive sounded fighters we have. James Toney was probably one of the best
Boy,
defensive fighters, and
what
look
what
how
you read?
James Toney fights right now. Look at
What you
James
read?
Toney right now.
You you must have you went in there and pulled it out of my brain because I was thinking of James Toney as you were speaking.
Yeah, but I mean, look at him though. Look, you
Yeah.
tell he he's in a different. You look at his voice.
Uh-huh. Look at old George Foreman. Look at the older version of George Foreman, how his defense was. He would take some shots so he can land his shot. Old George, big fat old George, would let you pop that belly, hit his head because he knew he could take it, so he can give it back to you. That's all he did to Michael Moore. He let Michael Moore land his shots, but he made sure to get his in too. And he knew his shots was hurting more than more shots was hurting him.
Shout out to the J. Roos theory. Usyk got touched up by AJ, even though he won both. I mean, both of those fights, he looked like those
Yeah,
fights. First fight, he got cut, and then he had abrasions. But understand
yeah,
this: keep in mind, Usyk he has thin skin, fair-skinned guy has thin skin. You're going to see every mark, blemish, and everything anyway. But he
yeah.
did get pieced up. Second fight, more so. He had two black guys. You see them at the airport. They asked him, "How you doing?" "I am fit." Right.
Mm,
So he took some punishment.
yeah,
Usyk stays moving where Holyfield will stop his bounce. They both took damage, and I do agree he is comparable to Evander. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And Evander would stop his bounce and trade because Evander was a warrior, man. That's just how Evander fought. He wasn't afraid to trade with big men. He never was. Bo. Matter of fact, Fat George. I'm just talking about Fat George. He traded with Fat George. Matter of fact, he wobbled George really, because he stopped moving and just went on and said, you know what, I'm finna trade with you, big boy. And he wobbled George a couple of times.
Yeah, he went at George, man. He fought George like a smaller guy fighting a bully, you know. Like he was almost mad at the bully, so therefore he fought harder at the bully. You know what I mean? So
I,
yeah, I
I,
get
I
that.
really enjoy that fight too. I really enjoy that fight. I like watching it because I really enjoy watching Evander just really, man, that's when I really knew he was a warrior, man. I mean, man, George was hitting him with some bombs, bro, and he took that.
Okay.
Yeah, he
So,
took that.
all right, George Foreman, we got a comment here. I thought Juggernaut Joe Joyce was 2.0 Foreman. His chin isn't the same, but he is game. He is game. What do you think about Joe Joyce?
Oh man. Uh I like Joe Joyce. I do. But where Joe Joyce and Big George is separate, Big George got more heart. I hate to say it, but I think Big George have more heart than Joyce. Better chin, can take better punches. I mean, Big George could take punches, man.
I don't know, man. I mean, George can take punches. I think he took a lot of shots older, and he took a
Yeah,
lot of shots. I mean, he fought Foreman. Listen, he fought Foreman. He fought Moore.
yeah,
He fought Morrison. He fought Briggs. He fought a lot of these guys in the '90s. He didn't fight Mike Tyson. Okay,
yeah. They
he
were
didn't.
supposed to
He
fight.
didn't. He didn't fight guys like that. So I don't really know if that's a fair assessment because here's the thing about Zhang. Zhang hitting Joe Joyce and cracking his chin open like he did. Um, and no, I don't think he's the same because I seen the Chisora fight. I don't know if you saw the Chisora fight.
I saw it. Chisora put him down, dropped him once, didn't he? He dropped him once in
Yeah,
that
yeah,
fight,
he
didn't
did. He did. So but because of those things, I don't think that he's the same.
he? No.
Still laughing. Shout out to Scotland. Scotland in the building. Joyce takes too many punches, says J. Roos Theory. Well, I think Joyce. Here's the difference, really. The
Uh-huh.
way they threw punches were similar, but I don't think they were anything alike because George Foreman had just simply more power. Joyce don't have that power.
Yeah.
And since he don't have the chin no more, people looking at him as a vulnerable guy where he used to be an indestructible puncher bag.
Straight
Now
up.
he's just like, now, okay, well, you don't have to punch that bag too long before that bag gets ripped open. You
Yeah.
know, all bullshit aside. So that's what I think about Joyce. Is he still game? I think he can fight still, but
He
like
just
the right person, like Zhang, with the punching power, like that, equivalent, equal, or more, will take him out. Yeah.
Zhang. Now Zhang is more comparable to George to me. He's an older fighter with a lot of power and he can take punches.
No, I don't think Zhang's anything like George Foreman. I think George Foreman, the current day George Foreman now is the same guy that knocked out the young lad on our next topic, Jared Big Baby Anderson. Okay,
Oh,
okay,
oh,
so yeah, we've went there. We got to go there, guys. Hit that like button.
oh.
We got 60
Hit
people in
the
here.
like
Hit the
button.
like button.
I've been waiting on this one here, baby. Hit that like button, please. I've been waiting on this topic right here,
Okay,
man.
okay. So, what did you think about Jared Anderson fighting
Man,
Martin McCauley?
let me tell you something. There's some lions in Africa right now that won't fight Mark McCauley, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like Mark McCauley is dangerous, bro. Dude, you know what that match when I watched it, it's scary. It reminded me of a horror movie. It remind me of a horror movie like Halloween or Friday the 13th. The way he stalked that man, because he wasn't afraid of him at all, at all. He had zero fear of that young man. And when you fighting a young prospect like that, why would you not have any fear of him? Because you're a freaking psychopath, and that you can knock him out.
Yeah.
McCauley is a psychopath, bro, and I believe him. I believe him now. I believe him. I think that he has pieced up a few dudes, man, because I think he's dangerous, bro. He's dangerous.
Okay,
That,
so
that
you didn't
yes,
think like Aaron Ivy, shout out to Aaron Ivy. You don't think he was overrated? You think Jared Anderson was overrated?
a little bit, a little bit. I think Turkey wanted him to be something that he wasn't ready to be yet. I do agree with that part, but I also still won't take nothing from Mark McCauley either, man, because I think Mark McCauley is a dangerous individual, man. He almost knocked that kid through the ropes, man. Like what? What?
Yeah, he almost fell into Turkey Al Sheikh's lap.
Yeah, yeah, man. In that, hey, go back and look in the eyes of Mark McCauley. Freeze frame that shit and just look in his eyes, man. That dude was in there like a hungry. African rhino or something, like a hungry lion, man. I don't know, man. He just like it's like nigga, I don't care what you do, I'm gonna knock you out. He had that look like I don't care what you do, I'm gonna knock you out in this ring today. That's how he looked at Jared.
Well, who do you think Martin McCauley could beat?
Oh, everybody. If give on the right day, he could beat everybody. Now your boy showed him up. He had the right game plan against Mark McCauley. Your
Yeah,
boy,
Mike Hunter. Yeah.
just a great game plan. That was smart. He used his brain. He fought smart. That's how he beat him. You know.
Okay. So speaking of Michael Hunter, do you think Michael Hunter is the best heavyweight we have on this side of the pond?
Oh, in America, yes. I do. I think he's the best thing that we have because Deontay. Much respect to Deontay Wilder. You know, nothing against the young man. He held it down for as long as he could with that WBC, but he's no longer the best American heavyweight.
So who do you think will win between someone like Miller versus Deontay Wilder, and should they fight?
They should. They should. And I think Big Baby Miller will win that fight.
Well, he's been more active now. I mean, well, Wilder had
Uh-huh.
one fight, to be fair, and uh, so who do you think Martin will beat? Who do you think he could beat?
Mm. To my Martin McCauley.
Yeah. Hold on, just a second. Hold on a second.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Hey man, I believe I agree with you, ex-con. I agree. Damn, you funny. Mm. Sorry, man. Kurt had to leave y'all, so I'm just enjoying reading what y'all writing, man. It's some nice stuff right here. McCauley would get beat by Fury. You know what? I think so too, ex-con. I believe Fury would have the right game plan, just like Hunter did. Ooh, Fury ducking Hunter. Oh, okay.
Think Fury was ducking Hunter?
Oh, whoo.
Man, I never heard that.
I never heard that one either, man. That's a rough one, that kid. That's a rough one, there, bro. Um, back to they need to change Mark McCauley name to Mark Michael Myers McCauley. McCauley, yeah. They need to change his name to Michael Myers, man, because I think he's a nightmare for any heavyweight. He can't.
Well,
He's beatable. He's beatable, but he's a nightmare.
well, I think that Martin McCauley, man, is a guy that he should get praise, but I mean, how much praise do you really give Martin McCauley? I mean, I hear you talking, and I hear everybody's on the Martin McCauley, and I have nothing against him. I do tell you this: if Jared Anderson was pushed too fast, like you guys say, and he was a little bit overrated, how much could you give Martin McCauley really? You know what I
Uh,
mean?
You're right. I mean that's a great counterpunch, which you always do anyway. It's hard to give him as much praise as he possibly could deserve because they pushed Jared Henderson so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like let that young kid develop, man. He still needs to be developed, man. He was never really mentally stable to begin with. He had some issues going on, man. Give him time. They didn't give him
Yeah.
enough time.
So who do you think Martin McCauley should fight next? Realistically, you think
I
he should
really
go with the Mike Hunter rematch right away, or what?
realistically, I don't I want to see Michael Hunter fight bigger. I want to see Michael Hunter start competing for belts, man. It's about that time for him. Um I think Mark McCauley and Zilly Zhang would be a bang, in the words of my boy Kurt Bars. Uh, I I think that would literally be a great fight, man. You will finally see who's the most dangerous man right now. because it's between the two of them. It's between Zilly Zhang and Bakali, man. We want to know who the most dangerous.
Okay. Mm.
We want to know who's the more dangerous out of the two, and then after that, whoever win out of those two should fight my boy, the uh uh oh god, man, you know I'm terrible with names, Kurt. I always have been. I know my fighters. I'm terrible with names. The is he Samoan? What is he? Um, is
Joseph
that
Parker?
Samoan? Parker? Yeah, man.
Yeah, Joseph Parker. Well, you think Joseph Parker could handle someone like Martin McCauley?
Oh, I don't know, especially after he got knocked out by a juggernaut. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Joseph Parker got the heart of a warrior. He has the heart of a warrior. I just don't know how much he could take. I don't know. He's not afraid of anyone. He'll fight anybody. I just
Yeah,
don't
he
know
fought
how
a
much
lot of
he can.
people, man. You know, you go
Yeah,
from fighting. He's pretty much fought everybody, like from the old school. You know, Chisora, Wilder, uh, Joshua, White.
yeah,
You know, a lot. He's fought Ruiz. He's been in there
yeah.
with a lot of people, man. And then Joseph
Yes,
Parker,
man.
believe it or not, is still young. He's still a young guy. I don't think though he'll be fighting long as we think he is, as long as the other fighters, due to the fact he's been fighting these top guys for a very long time. You
Right,
know,
right.
Eric says Parker gets knocked out cold by McCauley.
Tell him,
You know,
tell him that might be closer to the truth than he knows, man. I mean, really, I don't know, man. I don't. Oh man, you're right. I think Parker is coming. His career gonna wind down early. It's gonna wind down early. He took some damage for some big, hard hitting guys, man. You know, he's taking a lot of damage, man. You know, even though he won that fight against Zilly Zhang, he took some damage from Zilly Zhang. Those punches hurt him. When he landed, they hurt.
yeah, yeah, they did hurt him, man. I mean, I thought he was going to get knocked out and stop. Me personally, because we've already seen it in the Joyce fight, and then you got the guy
Yeah.
that beat Joyce, and then it's like, okay, the inevitable,
Hmm.
and the sway of things, we're just going to go, well, hell, the guy that knocked him out got knocked out by this guy. So what do you think he's going to do? But it just shows you triangle theories do not work. They don't work. Nobody cares about them. I mean, you
No,
shouldn't.
they don't.
Um, if Zhang had a gas tank, he would be world champion.
Straight,
Yeah,
straight up,
yeah.
straight. Hey, hey, drop your mic, Skrilla. Drop your mic on that. You can drop your mic on that one, kid. That's
The
real
loser
talk.
of Usyk Fury fights Zhang. Ooh,
Ooh.
man, it'll be good. So, man, either
Yeah,
one of those would be good. But here's the thing: Joseph Parker's supposed to fight Zhang in the rematch. So Parker got
yeah.
to fight him again. So that's the next fight for both fighters. How about this? How about the loser of Usyk versus Fury fight Bakali?
Ooh.
How
No,
about
no, man.
yes,
Hey,
yes?
look, I'm gonna tell you what that would do. That would
Pitch it to
quickly,
His Excellency. Pitch it to His Excellency.
hey,
Pitch it.
that would
Pitch it.
quickly move Bakali right into a title shot, right then. Like if whoever
Yep.
lose go fight him, and if he beat them, oh, he go title shot. Go ahead, get ready. You'll put him right in that mix. He'll be ready for a title shot.
Yeah.
Wow, that.
Yeah.
Hey, let's call Turkey right now, man. What his number? Let's WhatsApp him. Turkey, what's up, baby?
I mean, keep the tournaments going. I mean, because something has to happen because we've already had the undisputed fight at heavyweight. We've had that. Then we're going to have an undisputed fight at light heavyweight. Okay, and the last topic, light heavyweight, Bivol versus Beterbiev. Go. What do you think?
Bivol, Bivol versus Beterbiev. Man, boy. Woo! Oh God, I'm a Beterbiev fan, right? I like that cat. Hard fighter, just a bruiser. breaks you down. Oh, I gotta. God, that Bivol kid. Oh, I gotta go with Beterbiev, man. That's my boy. I'm gonna stick with him. I'm gonna stick with him just because I like him. I'm gonna stick with him because I like him. Because really,
Well, I mean,
honestly, go ahead, Kurt. Go ahead.
no, I mean I like them both, but to be fair, people are worried about the injury on his knee. People are worried about the age.
I know. I me too.
Well, I think that Beterbiev, I think he'll beat Bivol. I just think he'll beat Bivol because I don't think Bivol has tasted power like that before.
Exactly.
I don't think he's tasted power like that before. But we could both be wrong. We could
Yeah.
both be dead wrong because Bivol is a lot better than we think he is. Look what he did to Canelo. He kept
Woo-hoo.
Canelo from doing what he did, but then here's Canelo was a smaller dude trying to impose power punches on a guy that he thought that he was going to take out because in 168 the shit worked, but it didn't work at 175. You
No.
just boot or throw these punches and you crash to the body and you
Hmm?
think these guys are going to crumble. Like no, Bivol was ready for that. Not only was he ready for that, he was ready to counter off of that
Sure
and
was.
then give you what he got. Yeah,
Sure did. And that's real talk. That's what the Mexican monster learning. Hey, you had power in your weight class. When you move up, that power gets even out, bro.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it gets even. Only cat that I know that power got better as he got bigger, and I know what people gonna say already. Manny Pacquiao, and I know what people gonna say about that, because we all know what Mayweather had to say about it. But Pac-Man got stronger the bigger he got.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: who's to say Manny Pacquiao wasn't getting bigger naturally anyway as he got older? You know,
We talking about a dude who, as a kid, was fighting off one bowl of rice a night.
right?
His diet was horrible, and he was still beating men at what, 105? Like, he was fighting at 105, man. The man he was eating a bowl of rice. So you start adding in more calories, a better diet, better training. Yes, your strength can come up.
Yeah,
So Manny might have been just a product of better diet, better training, possibly. I know ain't nobody gonna agree with you, but it's a possibility.
yeah. Well, I'm going with Beterbiev. Um,
Me too. I'm going with BF.
and the last question,
Yes,
okay.
sir. Yes, sir. What you got?
You know what? I'm going to save it because we got to do this next week. We got to do this next week.
We gonna do it again?
Yeah, we're going to do it again. J and
Oh,
K got to do it again.
oh man. Look, I'm
Yeah,
excited already, man. And by
yeah.
the way, I wanna thank every single person that's been in this thing. Look, I keep looking down, reading. Like, I want to thank everybody who joined in, man, because it made it a great experience, brother.
Absolutely, man. I'll bring you in anytime. Next week we're gonna do it again and continue. I gotta make a run because I gotta check out of this hotel and all this good stuff.
So, I'm gonna go
So
hit the gym. I'm gonna go hit the gym. So I feel you.
absolutely, Squilla 50 X Con Fizz Scooby _ Boxing Entertainment, uh,
Yeah,
X Con Daniel Pines, Topin Tynes, Bars. All
yeah.
you guys, appreciate you guys for coming in.
Woo!
Be
Appreciate you
blessed.
guys.
Have a great day. We're out. J and K, and everybody has been Counterpunch. Peace.
Peace.